What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topics, tweets, videos y'all want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Monday, January 29th. We only got 2 or 3 more days until the end of the month, and then we are finally into February. You made it for the first freaking most chaotic month of all time. Why did literally everything happened in January? I thought 2024 was going to be like a slow start, kind of more relaxing, new year, new me for the entire world, but nah, and things just keep getting crazier. The Super Bowl is near, and somehow the Lions fumbled a 24-7 lead at halftime. Are you kidding me? Literal Cheese had said that this was what it was on halftime. San Francisco 49ers versus the Lions. The final ended up being 34-31. How? You blew oh my god, that's such a huge point lead. How did they do it? I didn't watch the game. But if you have any friends that are Detroit Lions fans, be with them on their time of need. Because god dang, that is depressing. So what's going to happen now is we're going to have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Kansas City Chiefs. The Super Bowl is going to be not this Sunday, but the Sunday after, okay, starting from today. So you got 2 weeks to get ready for your Super Bowl parties, and then yeah, you know, more football. Guys, before we get further into today's topics, I'm happy to announce that today's video is sponsored by Aura. You guys know if you put in your real name or your tag or even your email address into Google, that basically anybody can find everything about you? It's really easy and it's really creepy. There's these guys called data brokers. They sell your personal information to scammers, spammers, and anyone else who may want to target you. And that's why I've been using Aura, who's also today's sponsor. Aura is pretty straightforward and simple, but powerful. They find the data brokers who are selling your information, and then they opt you out automatically so your information stops going out to the World Wide Web. Did you guys hear about the huge data breach that happened last week? Nobody's really talking about what's titled the mother of all breaches, where there has been 26 billion records affected. That has impacted all of your popular social media accounts. And that's why Aura is so great. They protect you and your family and your friends from having your information exposed to breaches like the one you just saw. It's extremely easy to set up, it's a very affordable price, and it gives you the peace of mind of knowing that your personal information on the internet is not being breached or used in any kind of dastardly or evil ways. So yeah guys, what are you waiting for? You guys can stop data brokers from exposing your personal information by going to my link in the description below, https://aura.com/omni. From there you can start your 2-week free trial. And again, special thanks to Aura for sponsoring today's video. So what's going on in Texas? Somebody said something about a civil war. Oh my lord. Ethan Wallace said, I was told not too long ago that Texas might be having a civil war and I am diarrhea scared. And this picture look, if you're in Texas and you're afraid of the civil war, look, I don't live in Texas, I'm in the DMV, okay? But I need to find out what's going on. I got a lot of Texas homies. I'm gonna look out for your best interests. I have heard that there is a lot of things happening there. There's always a lot of things happening in Texas, but civil war, let me find out what's happening so I can tell you guys, just in case you live there, so you can feel better. I doubt it's going to occur, but hey, better to be safe than sorry, all right? Being the investigative journalist that I am, I typed in Texas Civil War in Google. I thought nothing would pop up, but things are literally, there are articles being written here. Texas Lieutenant Governor responds to question about, quote, possible civil war. Is this going to turn into a civil war? Texas, Biden slams Biden. Texas border, Greg Abbott joined by GOP governors invoking Confederacy. Hello? Okay, what is, okay. All right, what's actually happening here, y'all? So this article by Newsweek reads, amid tension over the use of razor wire on the U.S.-Mexico border in Texas, the state's Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick responded to a question about a possible civil war during an interview on Sunday. That's yesterday. Apparently there is tension between the federal and state units in Texas remains after President Joe Biden's administration secured a significant win over Texas Governor Greg Abbott on Monday after the Supreme Court ruled 5-4 to allow the temporary removal of razor wire along the southern border while litigation over the issue proceeds. The court's decision has sparked anger amongst Republicans who support the measures taken by Abbott and his administration to fight illegal immigration in the state. Tensions over the measures escalated as the federal government raised environmental and humanitarian concerns about the deterrent. So they were using razor wire to keep immigrants from coming to the border of Texas. I didn't even know that was a thing. And now they ruled 5-4 to remove it. And Texas is pissed off. They're like, nah. We want to keep the razor wires? It says here, meanwhile, Abbott and his administration have held firm on their stance to continue the razor wire policy as the Republican governor claims that Texas has a constitutional right to self-defense and his state was acting on the authority as well as the state law to secure the Texas border by using the razor wire. In an interview on Fox News Sunday Morning Futures with host Maria Bartiromo, Patrick said that Texas does not want a confrontation with the Biden administration. However, when asked by Bartiromo whether this situation will turn into a civil war, Patrick responded by reiterating that Texas has a constitutional right. Texas is saying we have a constitutional right to defend ourselves. So even though that the Supreme Court has ruled in favor of them taking down the razor wire policy, they're saying no. They're saying no to the Supreme Court. You can do that? Supreme Court can say, hey, we ruled it against you. They can just say, no, I don't think I will. Quote, we believe constitutionally we are right. We have the right to defend our citizens. We have a right to defend this country, and we are just doing our job. These young women and men who serve our National Guard and our DPS, these are the best. This is treason. So I found two really good answers I'm gonna read off in case you guys are still confused on what might be happening here, the smokes and mirrors. Some people think this is actually a PR stunt, but this should probably bring enough clarity to you guys about the situation that's happening in Texas, okay? First one saying there's a major debate about border control in the US, which we just read about. It comes down to two arguments. Number one, there is a belief that the immigrants crossing the borders illegally puts America at risk. Some argue that it's a strain on our social programs. Others argue that it allows drugs into the county. Some argue that the criminals and the terrorists can gain access through open borders, etc. But all the people who share this mindset agree that the undocumented immigration has a greater negative impact than positive. Okay, so that's the first one. There's a lot of people who feel like immigration is a threat to America. Number two, there's a belief that the majority of those who seek to cross the border illegally are in need of refuge and that it is inhumane to deny them as the opportunity for a better life. They believe that the number of criminals who use the same route in the country is far lower than the number of honest people in need, so the risk is worth the reward of helping people. Some also argue that since America is such a young country, a lot of us can trace our lineage back to the person who immigrated here from another country. Very, very few people are native to these lands, so it seems a bit conceited from one person whose great-great-great-grandfather was an immigrant to say, quote, I can be here, but you are not welcome to someone else. That's the US border debate in a very simplified nutshell. Those who believe the risk is too great want to see stricter border control. They want to build a wall. Those who believe the need is greater than the risk want more relaxed immigration policies and no wall. So it's politics and it's election year, so there's a lot of smokes and mirrors and misdirection, people bringing up concerns in order to make you not think about something that's happening over here to, hey, let's make this a big deal as well. That's kind of how politics in America probably around the entire world works, so keep your eyes open. But that's the situation with Texas. It's probably not going to be a civil war, okay? I don't think the Texas or anybody is going to go to war over the fact of immigration laws or this some chain that's not being followed. But I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Like, it does feel like kind of treason. You just can't say no to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's like the top of the top of the top. Those are the ones where you got to be like, all right, fine. So I'll let you guys know how that plays out if anything big happens. But if you live in Texas, I don't think you got to worry about anything right now. Pokemon has finally acknowledged the fact that Palworld exists. Okay, I've been sick. Last time we was making videos, like last week, you guys probably heard my voice. It was really all hoarse and all messed up and everything. I'm feeling a lot better, but I was staying inside. I was on twitch.tv.com playing Palworld almost every day. I am absorbed. It's super freaking fun. Despite all the chaos and the mayhem, apparently they've like beat records after records after records, having 2 million concurrent players playing at the same time, and it just keeps getting like higher and higher. But apparently the Pokemon Company had a message, said the Pokemon Company made a response about Palworld, in which Wario64 had said the Pokemon Company releases a statement regarding Palworld and inquiries regarding other companies' game. It reads, we have received many inquiries regarding another company's game released in January 2024. That's Palworld, baby. They're not going to call it by the name, but they're saying another company's game has been released. We have not granted any permission for the use of Pokemon intellectual property or assets in that game. We intend to investigate and take appropriate measures to address any acts that infringe on intellectual property rights related to the Pokemon. We will continue to cherish and nurture each and every Pokemon and its world and work to bring the world together through Pokemon in the future, the Pokemon Company. TLDR, the Nintendo ninjas are watching. They are putting their eyes on Palworld and they are doing some investigation, okay? All they're trying to say is that they see all all this discourse about all these people saying like, hey, you've been stealing from Pokemon, and they're saying like the Eyes of Mordor of Pokemon is now going straight into Palworld, and if they find one copied frame, if there's any kind of way that they can prove that Palworld did anything illegal when it comes to IP law, they will jump on that ass, because Palworld has made already about 8 million unit sales in only less than 10 days. It's going absolutely ham. So you know daggone well, if Nintendo has the ability to shut this down, they will. They'll do more for less, okay? You can have a 100 subscriber Timmy on YouTuber who makes like a fake Pikachu, and Nintendo ninjas will come and kidnap that kid and he will disappear forever, okay? They don't play around. It's interesting, right? Because as of last week, after the whole drama with Palworld, people talking about copying left and right and all the nonsense that was going around, people were like, yeah, Game Freak, Pokemon, they don't care about Palworld. They're just going to keep doing their thing. And yet, over time, we see these revelations of that kind of being debunked. Here we have now Pokemon acknowledging that Palworld exist and an actual statement. That's a pretty big deal. The other thing they keep saying is like Palworld's not going to compete against Game Freak. You know, they don't really care as well. They're just going to keep making their mid Pokemon games. Basically, the success of Palworld is going to have nothing to do with Pokemon, and they're just going to keep doing their same thing, is what a lot of people are saying, just because Pokemon is a different type of game than Palworld. Even though they have monster creatures, Palworld is a game where you survive, fight off raids, and you explore and you shoot and stuff, you collect. It's like an art game, and Pokemon is more, you know, different. However, I've been playing Palworld for the past week, and I know when Pokemon drops their next game, everyone's going to be saying, is this game or not? Like, everyone's going to be way more critical than before after experiencing the game that is Palworld, and then coming into Pokemon, and if it's their basic mid stuff, they're going to get judged and harsh critically, in my opinion. They can't serve up the same slop with the same eyes after people have now experienced Palworld, also given the fact that the people at Palworld continue to create more and more in the game. They plan on expanding and making it better and better. So as long as Palworld exists and it starts becoming successful, in my opinion, people are going to start giving Pokemon the shifty eye look. Like, what are you doing over there, bro? You got like a $300 million budget over there making Pokemon versus these guys at Palworld that have like $6 million, right? I made that number up, by the way. That's the first one. But yeah, what are you doing, Pokemon? Are you going to make peak or not? My guy, Alex _ said Vince McMahon getting caught up in sex trafficking his girlfriend and implications that he used her to get Brock Lesnar to show up at a WrestleMania event. What do you mean? Vince McMahon, the guy himself, the dude who's been running the freaking wrestling event for years, decades now, this guy, he's getting packed? Are you serious? All right, guys, so there's a trigger warning here for sex trafficking here when it comes to Vince McMahon. Screenshots of Vince McMahon's messages from the new sex trafficking lawsuit. What? Oh boy. All right. Okay. All right. Again, another TW for you guys. What did Vince McMahon say in these text messages? I'll read it for you, or as much as I can, because I looked over for a split second over to the right, and I see big black cocks and big black oh my god. All right. Okay. I got to figure out how to. What is happening, bro? What did January do, dude? It reads, following the threesome on May 11, 2020, McMahon sent an explicit message to Ms. Grant that further detailed his fantasies of seeing her engaged in sexual relations. So I got to censor this, but I'm going to read it probably, but I'm going to only read the ones that I can read because, you know, YouTube, if I put this whole thing on here, I might get like demonetized immediately. This was as May 11th, 2020, 4 years ago. And he said, I love it. That's you, Janelle. You just can't get enough, can you? It's also really weird. I might show some of it, right? But he uses capital letters like a capital U and a capital B and like capital random, just capital U's and capital B's. And the future is going to be so bad that you'll demand to be F twice a day and not just with blank in a three-way. Why not let others see the beautiful, voluptuous body and watch you shake uncontrollably when you... Then I'll find more friends and will tie you up so you're helpless. I'll direct them to have their way any way they want. Who can make you scream the loudest? 3 exclamation marks. Maybe I'll just line them up and... Bro, Vince McMahon, what was you doing? This man, Vince McMahon, was nasty. Oh, no. He was nasty. This is nasty. It's nasty. So I can't read the rest. But just imagine like an old white dude, right? Just being nasty as hell, right? That's all it is. It's just nasty. Second lawsuit points that after the threesomes began, McMahon became more sadistic and his fantasies focused on control, such as choking, sensory deprivation, pain, humiliation, and group scenarios in which Miss Grant was to be physically overwhelmed and subservient. And it's just, this one's disgusting because all I see here without even reading the whole paragraph, like at three or four times, is big black dicks. That's all. Oh boy, what is Miss Grant suing for? Well, it said sex trafficking, so this can't be something that she was consenting to. So basically, Vince McMahon had this woman and was just using her, just literally just as a body, and the entire WWE was just using her and just passing her around to anyone and everyone, and for all of his sexual desires. Just that's quite literally what this is. That's absolutely disgusting. Another comment that I read here that might be important for you guys to know here. Devil's advocate, she knew what was happening, could have stopped responding or showing up if she ever wanted to. Doesn't seem like not only did she consent to it, but it was an active participant in which someone said, did you even read? She became the primary caretaker for her dying parents, and when they died, she lost the house to her parents' bankruptcy. A family friend sent Vince her info to see if he could find a job for her because she did not have that much experience. So she had nothing. And Vince was basically just using her as a warm body. And clearly the power dynamic of somebody being Vince McMahon over somebody who has absolutely nothing, being the scale of this big, there's no way that you in hell that you can try to put any kind of onus or blame on this person right here who has nothing, and this man right here who has everything, and just basically just using her as a puppet. Anyway, as of 2 days ago, Vince McMahon, who co-founded the modern WWE in 1982, has resigned from his role as TKO executive chairman and from his position on the TKO board of directors. He said in a statement provided on ESPN Friday night, McMahon, who's 78, so he was 74 when this was all happening, leaves the publicly traded company, which was formed when the UFC merged with WWE, following a lawsuit filed Thursday that accuses him of sexual misconduct. Apparently, Grant signed a non-disclosure agreement in 2022 in connection with an agreement from McMahon to pay her $3 million. So he tried to pay her, hush money. WWE started a board investigation that same year after it received an anonymous tip about their improper relationship. And then the lawsuit, Grant said McMahon paid $1 million but stopped making payments thereafter. She seeks to void the NDA along with receiving unspecified financial damages. So he didn't pay her the full $3 million? God damn, that's I did not see that on the bingo for January. It's not even over. January is not over. I did not see Vince McMahon being a disgusting, filthy human being on the god damn. But yeah, guys, that's Vince McMahon. That's the lawsuit that's currently happening with him and Miss Grant, and him now, resigning as TKO, and now just being one and another packed up old dude who's getting, exposed for doing heinous, terrible things to people. Yeah, you hate to see it happen, but hopefully justice is served. All right, guys, somehow, some way, the Chuggaaconroy situation got worse. The last video we talked about Chuggaaconroy, the YouTuber, the OG Let's Player. He plays video games for a living, pretty much a legend, and was, like I said, a lot of people's reasons for actually starting YouTube. He was getting canceled, and I mean that in the word canceled, probably 2 weeks ago, when initially someone had came out to talk about the fact that he was being weird in the DMs when it came to feet. Right? That's how it all started, and people were like, that's kind of weird and strange, but nothing to kind of cancel him for, until he came out with an apology saying that he was going to go get some therapy, and that, he was sorry for how he interacted and with other people he potentially interacted with as well, leading to believe that this guy was kind of doing this same habitual, overstepping of boundaries and discussing behavior with multiple women and people. Then all his friend groups like Ant Dude and everybody around him, Capri Sun, all of these guys that worked with him on YouTube and all of that, all came out with statements as well to say that they are no longer wanting to interact with this man. If they go to a convention and he's there, they don't want to be there. They want to be away from him. It just kept getting worse and worse as everybody around him started distancing themselves from him, and people coming out with stories talking about how he made them extremely uncomfortable with his advances. Which then led to the I think the final nail in the coffin here was a DM message response between him and some girl when he was 19 and she was 15. And I'm not going to to go over the text. They're so like it's like role play kind of sexual fantasy stuff. It's disgusting, it's nasty. It's just one of those things that you see people, you kind of probably know what I mean by that, but just like role play and talking about it. But what you need to know is that he was very aware that the person he was talking to was 15 and that he was 19, and he was engaging in this kind of role play fetish of her being smaller and younger. It was like intentional. It wasn't kind of one of those things where maybe it was naturally organic and they were just no, he was literally like, oh, you're younger and you're smaller. This is a fantasy for me. So after he got exposed for that, apparently there were more updates where apparently he was submitted to a hospital. And he may have attempted to take his life. Lunar Love said more Chugga updates. He seems to actually be in a ward. NCS comes out and said that he doesn't have phone access and might move across the country to be with his girlfriend. It's Capri's son, one of the people that he used to be around, said he is safe. He is not at the house for at least 2 more days. He has no access to his phone. When I mentioned very serious help yesterday, yeah, just trying to stay discreet. Yeah, he is in a really terrible place, and people are saying like he is now seriously on watch. With Xenowolf saying that he also apparently called a suicide hotline, and this is the actual statement here that probably gives the rest of the follow-up update that's going on with Emil, aka Chuggaaconroy. It reads, Emil is home. This is the most lucid I think I've seen him since last summer. We've had multiple long talks already. I know I said elsewhere I am not much one for serious conversations, but I think it went pretty okay. I told him that I still held him accountable, which was pretty hard to do, and he said he respected that, but I also said that I wasn't giving up on him. We went to Starbucks, came home, had pizza, watched Ed, Edd n Eddy for about an hour. He actually laughed a few times. First time I've heard him laugh in 2 weeks. I guess in the interest of transparency, not that I think I would ever come up otherwise, but I was aware that he had started going to therapy again a few months ago. This was yet another thing I didn't ask him about because I felt like it was none of my business. I assumed it was a combination of the stress of having a girlfriend or overseas, losing his cat, the bed bugs, the septic tank, yada yada yada. I guess one thing is clear while I'm here about the ulcers. Those were not directly caused by what happened last week. He had stomach problems. Before that, I have no doubt that the stress of last week exacerbated, but this didn't give him the ulcers. That's yet another thing that I could have probably been more clear on. I'm not used to having this much power in my hands. And you know what they say about great power. Please be safe, folks. Sending good vibes to all of NCS, Nintendo, Capri's son, who is also Emil's roommate. So yeah, guy's not doing so well, and it's I guess it's, you know, it's officially the end of the legacy that is Chuggaaconroy. It's not something that you want to see someone like him go out on, but yet here we are. To be frank, there's not much more to say about it, right? Like, I think what a lot of people were upset about, including me, was the concept of a parasocial relationship, which I don't think it exists to the point where I would excuse him of his types of behaviors. More so just kind of being let down, like someone that you look up to or your hero is now being outed as a bad person. That can make you not feel good. You don't have to have a parasocial relationship to feel bad when somebody that you like and look up to does something bad, or you find out that they did do something bad. But at the end of the day, this was Emil. This is what he did. This wasn't a one-off. This was many instances of him doing many things. I think people were much more willing to give him a little bit of leeway if this was a accidental oopsie whoopsie kind of thing, but it seems like it was habitual. And this is just kind of what we know. There's probably more instances and cases that we just don't know about. And we just kind of got to live with it and understand it. And he's got to live with it too as well. And hopefully he gets through that mentally as well. And then everyone moves forward in a way where everyone is alive and well. But yeah, that's the end of the legacy that is Chuggaaconroy. It's sad to see him go out the way that he did. But again, we just have to accept it. This is fact. It doesn't feel like it's reality for a lot of people, but we are here now, and that's what we have to do. We got some one-off news here, something that you guys need to know, because this was an update to where we talked about it as well. The Kyoto arsonist has been sentenced. We talked about this a while back, actually. It reads here, a Japanese man who admitted starting a fire that killed 36 people at an anime studio in 2019 faces a possible death sentence on Thursday when a court delivers its verdict. The attack at Kyoto Animation Studios was Japan's deadliest crime in decades. I remember talking about this, but I don't remember it being 2019. I feel like this story came out maybe last year or the year before. I don't think this story came out in 2019. I think it made more rounds as it was coming through. But the guy has been indicted and he's getting sentenced to which he should. I don't remember 36 people dying in that fire. Oh my God. It reads here that Aoba had admitted he had committed the attack, though his lawyers have entered a plea of not guilty due to mental illness. Quote, I didn't think so many people would die, and now I think I went too far, Aoba told Kyoto District Court when the trial opened in September, media reports said. So that's why the trial had started, and that's why we started talking about it. The accusations of breaking into the building, spreading gasoline around the ground floor, and setting it alight before reportedly shouting, "Drop dead," are correct, he said. Firefighters called the incident unprecedented and said rescuing people and extinguishing the fires was extremely difficult. Aoba had a delusion that the studio known by his fans as Omni stole his ideas, a claim that the company has denied. Aoba himself nearly died in the fire, suffering 90% burns and reportedly needing 12 operations. He regained consciousness weeks later and was said to have sobbed with relief after undergoing a procedure that restored his ability to speak. It reads here that Japan is one of the few developed countries to retain the death penalty, which is carried out by hanging. Despite international criticism, public support for capital punishment remains high. No executions were carried out last year, with the last person put to death in 2022. More than 100 people are on death row, local media say. Yeah, he's being sentenced to death. That sucks. So much crappy news floating around here. This is a vibe check for you guys, okay? This is a vibe check if you're still watching at this point in this video. Despite all the crappy news and all the bad news, it's good for you to kind of know what's happening, though. Is keep your peace protected, okay? It's going to be all right. It's not all bad news. Just sometimes when it rains, it pours, and it just happens to be one of those kind of things where, yeah, people are coming out left and right. But this is why I enjoy like the Palworld discourse when everyone was fighting over Pokemon, because everyone's like arguing and blah, 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 you know, copyright. Oh, and it doesn't matter. That's what I mean. Like when it doesn't matter, like discourse that happens, funny news, drama news that at the end of the day, right, doesn't affect your life whatsoever in any kind of way negatively. We can move from it because it's fun to discuss. And I like to sprinkle those in and the stories that we talk about here so that we can kind of, you know, have a good balance of good and bad here to keep your mental there, because being poured bad news all the time is not healthy for anybody as well. But it's good for you to kind of know what's happening when the bad news does pour and when it's happened to a specific degree that you kind of need to know. I'll let you guys know. I keep your head, you know, above water. You won't drown in the negativity here. I got you guys covered. But yeah, that's the whole situation that happened with the Japanese fire. And you guys, just again, it's going to be all right. It's going to be good, okay? I promise you, I will cover all of the good news, good stories, and the funny ones as well here as well. Let's have a little break from some of the depressing news or some of the... Please, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. A lot of you guys asked me to talk about. We got a trailer for it. The new Dragon Ball Fighters type game, not Dragon Ball Fighters, but Dragon Ball game with the fighters as well as coming out, that people are very hyped for, kind of reminiscent of Budokai Tenkaichi. Is supposed to be the next coming of Christ essentially, and it has a trailer. I'll come play it and watch it with you guys right now, and I haven't seen it yet. Budokai Tenkaichi returns.
My name is Goku and Earth is my home. I'm still far superior to you. All right, let's go.
My name is Goku.
Battle commence.
It looks
now
good.
To show you the overwhelming power of a super elite Saiyan. And Kaioken.
Oh god, this brings back so many memories, dude.
This is why the Saiyans are feared as conquerors of countless
What?
planets.
You lose.
You can go monkey form and keep fighting?
I'm angry. By my hatred, the Super Saiyan within me erupted to life! Let's see if you can keep up!
Alright, let me just pause it. So basically, they having Goku and Vegeta fight from their first base forms, then they turn to their monkey forms. You got Goku going Kaioken, okay? And now they're going into the Super Saiyans, and they're going to, I'm guessing, the way this is going to keep progressing is them going all the way up to Super Saiyan gods, essentially. And yeah, before that, though, the roster, I just wanted to go back. It looked like there was going to be a whole lot of people. Like here, one, Piccolo. You got, is that Goku or is that Yamcha, right? You got Boo right here. A lot of people, but there's a lot of open spaces. This map looks absolutely huge. Different versions of Brawly just sitting right here. You got Android 19 right there.
Let me show you. I don't care how strong you think you are. I am going to win.
Challenging limits.
If that's what you want.
Super Saiyan 2?
I'm not gonna waste any time.
Super Saiyan 2?
To see how you've been training in the afterlife.
Are they going to show Super Saiyan 3? Sometimes they, or not Super Saiyan 3.
This is what I call Super Saiyan 3.
They did! They showed it!
Be ready to kill me.
Okay, they showed it. They got Majin Vegeta.
Wanted to settle the
I was like, are they
score
going to show it?
real
Because
fast.
sometimes they
I'll let
act
you
around. They don't show it sometimes.
I will defeat you this day.
Okay.
So this is a Super Saiyan God's power.
Got the God modes. And then eventually, is it going to be Ultra Instinct? And is it Vegeta going to have his newest one? Super Saiyan God Blue?
I'm looking for what's beyond strength. There's no limit to the strength of the Saiyans. Breakthrough?
Okay, they didn't show it. All right, so they didn't show Ultra Instinct, which they will probably eventually. They're just probably not showing it right now because they have Ultra Instinct Goku in what is it called? Dragon Ball Fighter. So he'll definitely be in Sparking Zero. But that was, yeah, man, that brings back a lot of history. If you don't understand why this is hype, why people, it's because you probably weren't in on it. You weren't here mashing air dash, spamming buttons and punches and kicks and try. I didn't know how to play that game very well when I played it. It was more so who could press square and who could dodge and just press the spam the most buttons the fastest. I never actually strategically played this game, but I feel like everyone and their mom is going to be playing this. Oh my God, this is the holy, okay, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's going to be over 100 people. There might be 200 characters in this game. What in the actual, Jiren is right there. Oh my Lord, that's so many. Has there been a video game with this many characters that you could play? What the hell? Got my boy Hercule right there. I'm going to be manning him. Frame 1. The goal, by the way, is to get good with Hercule and beat everybody with Hercule, who's usually the weakest of the weakest. If you can beat him with Hercule, then you got like. It's going to be available on PlayStation 5, Xbox, and Steam. You can wish list it right now. We don't have a release date quite yet. Oh, Spike Chunsoft is working on this. Might be the graphics. But yeah, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, guys, is about to go down. Okay, so we got some beef between Nicki Minaj and Meg the Stallion. What did they do? Why are they beefing? They don't like each other. I just saw Nicki Minaj. Last time I've been seeing Nicki Minaj in the media was with her and Kai Cenat, and she was showing off her new song, some perfume, and she was on there and they were interacting. They seemed like they were having a good time. Last time I seen Meg, I can't even remember. I don't actually follow, Meg the Stallion or a lot of this news industry, but multiple of you guys told me to cover this. Omni, my guy, Nicki and Meg beef. No need to cover the full story, but at least the most recent thing. What occurred? What happened? Cyber Horror saying, have you heard about Nicki's drug-induced rant about Megan the Stallion and the terrible song that she put out? Okay, no, I have not. I am now curious. What did Nicki say? Well, Nicki Minaj on her video on her channel released a video titled Bigfoot, referring to Meg the Stallion, calling her Bigfoot. It's a 4-minute diss track. It's got 1 million views. It's number 3 on trending for music. My dislike thing stopped working actually. It says 82,000 likes, but apparently a lot of people did not like this diss track. I obviously cannot listen to it because I will get copyright striked with the swiftness. It's bad. I'm 45 seconds into it. It's bad. The last time I saw a diss track that kind of actually murked somebody was Eminem's Kill Shot on your boy Machine Gun Kelly, right? That one was like, that joint was fire. This is terrible. I can't play it for you guys. I'm already 45 seconds in, and I don't want to listen to the rest. It's not a good listen in my opinion. Which then leads us to exhibit number 2 that you guys pointed to me was this TikTok of this guy who was defending Megan the Stallion. Apparently he got like doxxed or something or attacked by Nicki Minaj fans. By the way, I'm not in the war. I'm just reporting the war, but I am not picking a side here. If you're a Nicki fan or a Megan fan, hey, I don't support either. I am just a spectator reporting the news. I'm just an honest journalist just coming here to let you guys know what's happening with this war here.
In case you're not already up to date, the self-proclaimed queen of rape has spent the past 24 hours deflecting from the fact that her husband is a convicted sexual predator who is not allowed near public parks or elementary schools by making fun of Megan the Stallion for getting shot, as well as referring to her as Bigfoot. It's always amusing to me how Nicki Minaj immediately jumps to making fun of other people's appearances as if she didn't spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2000 2008 getting illegal Craigslist butt injections from some guy in his basement. And not just that, she lied about it for 10 years and only confessed after her ass cheeks were visibly deflating in public and everybody could already tell. And listen, I'm not at all
God! Oh my, this guy, I don't know if he was reading, spoke from the dome. Oh my, Bella Delgado, oh my lord. That needs to be on the mixtape right there. That's young Eminem right there. That's Eminem's son. That was a kill shot. Okay, hold on. I'm sitting back. When you guys see me getting lower when my elevation comes down, it's because I'm getting locked in. I'm like, okay, what am I in for? What's about to occur here?
Reveling in the fact that she's a terrible person. I was a very big Nicki Minaj fan growing up. Ask anybody who went to middle school with me. I loved her so much, I would defend her to anybody who would listen. I saw her doing that, I'm gonna put her in a and I was like, huh, finally some real music. However, around 2018, when she started intentionally surrounding herself with sex offenders, I kind of fell off the wagon. She was announcing her associations with them faster than she was dropping new music. And it's always especially humorous to me when I see Nicki Minaj as well as her fans attempt to defend her by saying, you only attack the men she associates with for being sexual predators because you don't have anything on her. I beg to differ, Barbs. Because not only are we talking about a woman who once gave a lap dance to a 13-year-old boy, we're talking about a woman who once made a song with a then 16-year-old Little Twist, in which she says these lyrics.
What's the lyrics? Let me read the lyrics. Hold up.
Song with a then 16-year-old Little Twist, in which she says these lyrics.
You moved over to the side so you can. What did she say? You might can get it, might can hit it, but I gotta run. And when you get it, don't be telling me where you get it from. I know you young, but you know I like that young money. And hurry up, the president about to come for me. She said this? See, little boy, I can be your little teacher. And if you ball, then meet me behind the bleachers. Oh my. You got to come hard trying to reach her, because if we hit, I might charge you for the feature. Excuse me, I'm a little bit nudie. You know them other little girls got cooties. I mean, really look at, well, these hooties. I mean, hooters, excuse the bloopers. Voice lowers. The bloopers, excuse the bloopers. You like hooters, look at these hooters. I want to ride on the back of your scooter. I want to ride on the back of your I'll get you a real smart with the... Oh my lord. Did she really write this? What in the hell, fam? I can't believe what I'm reading. I can't believe what I just stepped into. What in the actual hell?
Conclusion, yeah, she's going to hell. Let's hope all that silicone doesn't release too many toxic fumes while she's burning.
God damn. Who? You know what? I need a fan. I need stands. Like, I need y'all to get on this level. Okay? If anybody comes to me, I got ratio the other day. How'd y'all let that happen? What happened? Where are y'all? Where's my stands? Where's my Omni stands and fans to come out here and defend me like this? Because good lord, I think Meg the Stallion needs to hire this person for PR, because that was an absolute roasting. And apparently Nicki Minaj saw the video and she liked a tweet that said he got scared, deleted the video, and is now apologizing. And Nicki, oh my god, Nicki Minaj liked, oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, if you scroll up and down on Twitter, people are saying, Meg, you don't even have to respond. Like, that's it. You've already won. Literally, by not even addressing it, you have won. Meg, sweetie, that garbage doesn't even deserve a response. You won. Meg, don't even respond that, baby. You won. Like, it's absolutely insane. There's Meg versus Nicki drama out here. I don't know how much is fabricated or real or not, but they're going in and... yeah, absolutely goofy. I'll let you guys know if Meg says anything of anything interest, but the dude, the person that was the stand, that was the wild part for me. Like, good lord, they went in it. Why does this have so many likes? All right, guys, I need y'all to chill, okay? It says, have you exploded yet from Too Rare, okay? People are planning my demise. I have like 3 or 4 more days to survive, but apparently this is the time frame where something on my body should explode. 6 months ago, My eye exploded when I got that sty in my eye bars, and it just made my entire eye go crazy. It was really bad. Then my neck exploded. I got the herniated disc by getting into the car accident. That was 3 months ago. Oh my God. I'm slowly recovering from that. I'm not all the way back there yet. But now people are like, what is the next body part that is going to explode from me? And I hate to break this to you guys, but nothing is going to explode. All right, stop it. Don't bring that bad juju. Nah, seriously, it's so weird. I've been walking around carefully. I've been looking around. I've been making decisions that might impact my health a little bit more cleaner. I'm like, okay, let me not get got, okay? Because there is now a pattern. And sometimes I kind of believe in that little superstition a little bit. So I'm going to stay safe out on these streets. I will break the freaking pattern. You guys are not getting me. But all right, guys, that's all I have for today's video. I think there was something else you guys wanted me to talk about. Something about like Rushi and some VTubers or something like that. Some update that happened with some VTuber drama. I'll say that for Wednesday's episode. I heard it was a bit of a deep dive, and I don't think I have the energy or the RAM to kind of process it for today. So I'll save it for you guys on Wednesday. We'll do a nice deep dive on that. You guys stay safe on them streets. You know the streets ain't safe. Drop a like if you guys like the video, if you made it this far as an attendance record. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. You know the spiel. Thanks for listening to me. I love you guys. Y'all take it easy. Peace.